shelter in Arkansas, Little Rock, Arkansas. Saw him on PetFinder.com.
Really?
And adopted him sight unseen. He was a stray who was running down a country road, and they picked him up. And I got him, and he was, he's a little feisty, which is what's good for stage.
He's a very friendly dog. I met him once on the street.
Yeah.
I think it was like in between breaks or something, and I was just in that area.
Yeah.
And he was like so friendly. He was jumping all over me.
Yeah.
I had a Karen as a child that looked just like Nigel.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
I'm a terrier person.
Yeah.
And I love all dogs.
Yes, yeah. And normally the dogs we choose for Broadway, obviously, because they're on stage and have to do personal appearances, are usually very outgoing and people friendly. Every once in a while we get a case who may have been abused and they need a little more rehabilitation, but they're still good performers. Right.
Now, you just finished a movie. Do you want to talk to me a little bit about the movie you just finished?
Yes. Yesterday, the day before the New York City Pet Show, I was in Toronto on a Disney TV movie called Frenemies, which will air June 11th, 2012. And we trained a Tibetan Terrier to be one of the main characters.
Oh, that's great. What's the dog's name?
The dog's name is Winston, but in the movie he plays, his name is Murray.
Murray?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's about teenagers who are friends who become enemies, then they become friends again. But Murray helps them become friends again, so he's very important to the plot point.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now, did you ever work with Joe Camp with Benji at all?
No, interestingly enough, when Annie opened on Broadway in 1977, and Sandy became an overnight star, they thought it would be fun to bring Benji to New York to meet Sandy.
Really?
And I was just 19, I was 20 years old, and it was the first dog I ever trained. I was really looking forward to meeting Joe and Benji, and it was, Sandy knew how to be a dog on stage and do his bits, but, he was a regular dog off stage. And when we did the picture, Andrew McCardle and I were sad because the dog was so well trained. It didn't move. It wasn't friendly. I mean, it looked at Joe the whole time, and we felt really bad for the dog because, of course, Sandy just wanted to go and play with it, and the dog wouldn't play with him.
Really?
Yeah. And in fact, Benji was a girl and Sandy was a boy, and he was a little enamored with her. So
really?
If you find it was the front page of the Daily News, and Andrew McCardle has Sandy in a headlock because at that moment he was like trying to make love to Benji.
That's very funny. That's so funny.
Theater stories.
That's very funny. So you worked with Andrew McCardle. Did you work with Sarah Jessica Parker when she took over the role?
She was my third Annie. Yep.
That's fantastic.
Her whole family has been in the entertainment business, and they sort of adopted me as one of their kids because I'm as old as her older brother. So I just fit in with the group, and we're still very close and spend holidays together.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I love Sex and the City, and I'm a real fan of hers. So.
And I remember when she was doing Annie, she was the least accomplished singer. She was always worried that she wasn't as good as Andrew McCardle.
Right.
But it was evident then that her acting ability was so strong that, she would acted the role better than any of the other girls. She may not have sung it, and obviously she's gone on to a brilliant acting career.
Yes, it's great. And Andrew McCardle, I heard she was playing Miss Hannigan in a tour of Annie. Is that true?
Actually, Andrea, again, who I stay in touch with, was asked to play Miss Hannigan in the North Carolina theater production of Annie last summer.
Really?
And, when you're identified with a show or a role, sometimes you're a little reluctant to go back, and she thought it was a great opportunity to do something else at the show. And she did it in North Carolina, and then she did it out in Los Angeles last fall.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And she was great. She was really great.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So what's next for you? Are you going to be judging the fashion show today?
No, not going to be judging today. We're just entertaining. We're doing one of our speeches here about animals on Broadway. Because again, it's a specialty, and I think people might like to know some behind-the-scenes stuff. Projects, we have Legally Blonde all over the country. We have Annie's all over the country. My wife and I are writing a new Broadway show, and that's
really? What is the name of the show?
We've acquired the rights to a children's book called Because of Winn-Dixie. It was turned into a film, and it's about a girl whose mother has run away and her father's a preacher, and she meets this giant dog. And not only does it change her life, but it changes the life of everyone around it. So it'll be the first musical plays a starring role.
I think that's fantastic.
So
you're putting this to Broadway.
We're hoping, and you know, as of this date, we have 2 Tony-winning composers and writers who are interested. We can't announce them yet because we haven't finished signing the contracts, but we're sort of blown away that these people would step forward to want to work on this project.
What about Alan Menken?
Alan Menken, I think we approached him, but what we were thinking about and what's unique about this project is going to be all dog, and we want it to be people who understand animals and who will be willing to work with them not as props, but as a main character. So we're actually looking at the personalities of the composers and writers and directors. You know, so it's going to be a totally dog-friendly production.
That's great. Well, count me in for that. That sounds like something. If I can help with that in any way,
well,
let me know.
We're planning a big announcement very soon.
Great. Well, that's so fantastic. So, what are you're accepting your Tony Award? Is it one of the first awards, or do you know where? And you're going to be at the Beacon?
Well, it's going to happen. What happened this year in 2010 is that they moved the Tony Awards from Radio City to the Beacon Theater.
So no one can buy tickets.
Right, and because there is less room, they're presenting the Lifetime Achievement Awards, the honors, the night before, June 11th.
Oh, okay.
At the Intercontinental Hotel. So we'll actually get our awards there. They will take the segment and then run it sometime during the broadcast.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, we'll be there. My wife and my daughter and I will be walking the red carpet and
that's fantastic.
hanging out with everybody. So it's really, really exciting.
Well, congratulations. That's a really big honor.
It is a big
And you've done so many wonderful things with Broadway. You know, this little guy here, Chico. Chico. Hi, Chico. You are one cute little dog. Do you know the name Bruiser? So can he do any tricks?
Chico. Chico, sit.
Oh.
Chico, up. Chico, bow.